Hello everyone! This is Aranya, Arcanist Aranya of Wyrmrest Accord. Finally streaming something in World of Warcraft again! Yay! Yay! My chiropractor visits have been going well. My hands have been getting better. I think the problem with my spine and my nerve compression is recovering very well. It's getting corrected. It's going nicely. The visits have just been getting better and better. I've been able to do more and more in the game. So finally, back in Azeroth, you see me here now. Not just for roleplay anymore. Yay! What we're going to be doing here today, as the stream title says, is How to Mage in LFR. Today launches the Gates of Hell, the first wing of the Tomb of Sargeras. We're finally doing it. We're finally doing it. We're gonna kill Jaden's ass. Except we're not gonna do that until a few weeks later, which you will get to see me stream on that Tuesday. Now, what I like to do for LFR, you know, if it's new, if it's something I haven't done before, is I look at the wing, I look at the bosses. What we got here: Goroth, Harjatan, Mistress Sassz'ine. And then, instead of going to cheat sheets from Wowhead or Icy Veins or anything like that, what I do instead is I go to the in-game adventure guide. I like to do it that way because it feels more authentic. It feels more raw. It leaves some room to learn. Granted, as I've said before in other streams, the adventure guide is not always complete. It doesn't always warn you about everything. It didn't warn about the ice floor and how you'd have to jump in Return to Karazhan. There's some things that are like, oh yeah, we kind of forgot to mention that rather critical surprise you guys are going to be in for. Very not cool, Blizzard, very not cool. So this is what I do. I read up the bosses in the actual in-game guide, and it just feels more authentic that way. So as I learn, you will be learning with me. Haha. So, first boss is Goroth. Oh, but why don't we instead just look at the whole thing, you know? Enjoy it all together. Hi, Aquilas! I see you there in the chat. Hello, hello. Good to see you here. Tomb of Sargeras. Egwene used this sacred temple of Elune to lock away the defeated Sargeras avatar. She hoped it would remain dormant, buried deep within the earth. It wasn't the earth, it was the ocean. You know, that one particular little island of the Broken Isles under the ocean. Gul'dan lifted it up with a spell. Yeah, that's not earth, that's ocean. But the lure of power has continued to draw foul entities to this site. Yeah, like Gul'dan, I just said. When Gul'dan re-entered the tomb, he tore down Egwene's wards and opened a doorway for the Legion to invade. Now the Fel army tears at the vault, hoping to reclaim their master's power. That is right. If any of you have listened to the audio dramas put out by Blizzard, which I really gotta give a round of applause to Blizzard for. The audio dramas, the Harbinger series, all of that has been wonderful storytelling. Wonderful storytelling. It's a great direction that they've gone in. Very good. The exact title of the audio drama that involved Maiev, Gul'dan, Khadgar, and the releasing of the Fel power in the tomb, the exact title escapes me, but you can find it on the official World of Warcraft YouTube channel. Go find it. Go listen to it if you haven't yet. And why the hell haven't you already? And you'll be in for a treat. Very good story. So the tomb is the font of power for the Legion on Azeroth. We gotta stop this. Who's the first guy we gotta stop? Goroth. As punishment for past failures, Goroth's flesh is marred with searing wounds. With every movement this behemoth makes, his flesh crackles and hisses with unending torment, a scourge he is happy to inflict upon those who oppose him. Overview. Goroth continuously gains fell energy until he can unleash infernal burning. Oh, geez, wow. What is infernal burning? Goroth ignites everyone he can see, inflicting fire damage immediately and some dots. Lovely. Well, don't let him see you. Decimating any enemy it hits. Use infernal spikes to survive infernal burning. Oh, great. There's a mechanic. Use the infernal spikes. Infernal spikes erupt from the ground, inflicting fire damage to anyone in the area. Okay, so it's a usual spikes through the floor thing. I'm guessing you hide behind it. And Shattering Star. What is Shattering Star? Goroth selects a target and then hurls a Shattering Star at them, inflicting fire damage to all enemies with it. Whoa! 200 yards? That is a huge area of effect. Huge. This damage is decreased by every infernal spike the Shattering Star collides with. Huh. So, don't run around indiscriminately. If the Shattering Star collides with no infernal spikes, the target is ignited, suffering big bad fire dot. Any other targets struck by the Shattering Star while it is traveling to its target take fire damage. Okay, now, when you're reading this section, don't just read the section for your roll. Because, like I said, Blizzard will leave some things out of the guide entirely, but they will also put things in the sections for other roles that you kind of need to know in your role too. So don't forget to read up on the other roles, because there will be surprises in there if you ignore that. Hello, Delneris. Hi, Brahm. Love you people. Happy to see you with me. Yes, the audio drama is called Tomb of Sargeras, made up of 4 parts. Yep. Yeah, I remember posting that on Tumblr, the 4 different sections, once they were all released. It was basically a get prepared for Legion kind of lore post, and it also had harbingers in it. Basically all the videos you need to see to prepare for the story of Legion. And the Illidan novel. Read or get the Audible version of the Illidan novel. Very good listen. If you don't like Illidan and if you don't like Xerath, get the novel. Your whole point of view will change. Very good story. Okay, damage dealers. Hide behind infernal spikes. Yep. To avoid being hit by infernal burning. Avoid destroying infernal spikes when targeted with crashing comets. Oh, there's another thing to collide with these things. Okay. Targets up to 3 enemies with a crashing comet, inflicting fire damage to all enemies within 10 yards. Enemies hit are ignited. Okay, again, so don't run around indiscriminately. Be careful of where you're going. Now, there's always going to be those just chickens that are squawking around all over the place, but we're not chickens. We're not chickens! Aim Shattering Star to collide with multiple infernal spikes to decrease damage taken. Sound advice. Okay, what advice for the healers out there? What are my healers supposed to do? Hide, avoid infernal burning, avoid destroying infernal spikes with the comets, aim the star to collide with the spikes. Okay, so comets and stars are different things. Tanks, what are you supposed to do? Hide, avoid, Oh, what's this? When affected by burning armor. What is burning armor and how does it affect my tanks? Inflicts fire damage every 2 seconds upon expiring. Oh, it explodes. Well. Well, well. And applies melted armor to all in it. Wow. Okay, yeah. So, very glad I'm range DPS and I don't have to stand near the tank. All you melee DPS, I feel so bad for you. Okay, next boss. Harjatan. Harjatan, big Naga giant. It's LFR, you are actually doing a lot more than most will do. Yep. Yep. You have the novel, haven't read it, been almost a year. Yeah, I have 1 hour left to listen to of it because Raquel actually gave it to me on Audible as a present. I think that was my birthday present from her last year. It was an awesome present. I didn't get around to listening to it because I was already an Illidan fan and I felt, you know, prepared enough for Legion, but I was not prepared for the good story of the Illidan novel. It was fantastic. So fantastic. I'm glad I've read through most of it before trying to RP a Demon Hunter. Definitely want to read it if you RP a Demon Hunter. If you haven't, that's fine. That is totally fine. But seriously, good read. Good read, good listen. Harjatan was trained from birth to demolish his enemies. Well, of course he was. Through a conquest of savage brutality, he gathered throngs of cave-dwelling murlocs who see him as a god. Of course they do. They're just the itty-bitty murlocs. Now the Naga brute merely has to bark a command and hordes of devout followers set themselves to task. Overview. Stick together in order to spread out the damage done by unchecked rage. Unchecked rage. At 100 energy, the caster releases all their built-up rage. Anger management. Inflicting physical damage split between all enemies in a cone in front of the caster. Additionally, unchecked rage inflicts physical damage to the caster's current target. If less than 5 enemies are hit, Arjatan casts Enraged. So this is one of those things where you soak it together. Try to keep the amount of drenched stacks you have low in order to reduce the damage taken from all sources of frost damage throughout the fight. Drenches the target, inflicting frost damage. Oh, it's a frost dot. And increasing frost damage taken, and it stacks. Lovely! God, you know, when you read these things, it's like, pain, pain. But then you actually do it, and it's like, yeah, we face rolled it. Not so bad. Earl Grey. Good drink to have. Damage dealers. When the boss casts Draw In, make sure to move to avoid being hit by moving pools of drenching waters. Draws in all pools of drenching waters, adding a stack of frigid blows for each pool absorbed. Yeah. Drenching waters. So that's how you get drenched. So don't stand in whatever it is that's on the floor, as always. Move out of the impact point of drenching slough. Slow. However that's pronounced. English is my native language, and I swear to God, sometimes it confounds me. With each strike, a portion of the gathered frozen water falls off, targeting a random enemy's location. Upon reaching its destination, it inflicts frost damage to all nearby enemies and leaves behind a pool of drenching waters. Okay, so something gets launched, move. Healers. Raid-wide healing is a top priority each time the boss casts